What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wrestling Bantz. And that is right, it is time for episode 1 Wrestling Bantz and Chill. That's right, Wrestling Bantz and Chill, the only podcast that's going to bring you tons of wrestling chat, mountains of banter, and just a chilled out vibe that you're going to love. We talk about all the weeks worth of wrestling and any news that breaks from last week and this week. Let's get on it. Let's go. Let's do this. This week, you can see we're going to be talking about the Undertaker in the Hall of Fame, Cody and Brandi and why they left AEW and what's going to happen in the future for them. And Uncle Dave is back. That's right, baby. Uncle Dave is back with his Wrestling Observer newsletter 2021 awards, and we're going to take a look at them and tell you what we think. So let's crack on. And where else are we going to start but talking about the Undertaker? That's right, the dead man, the phenom himself, the legend that is the Undertaker, the greatest of all time. That is right. There's only one, and there can only be one greatest of all time, and it is the Undertaker. No doubt about it. The way he's managed to transform himself and evolve throughout the generations has just been epic to watch and live through, from the day he came in at Survivor Series 1990, where he defeated the likes of Dusty Rhodes, Bret Hart, Coco Beware, teaming with Ted DiBiase, who brought him in along with Brother Love. I love you. Do you remember that? When Brother Love was his manager, and then they switched it to Paul Bear, and he just took off. Had some great feuds, great match with Jimmy Snuka at WrestleMania. Then had a feud with not Jake Roberts. He feuded with Hulk Hogan over the title, won the title, dropped the title. I mean, I was a bit disappointed, really. I would have liked to have seen Undertaker go on a bit of a run with the title, but never mind that. And then he had a great feud with Jake Roberts, which led to another WrestleMania match, another good WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 8. Then he got marred in some really bad feuds from there until about, I'd say, WrestleMania 12, maybe 30. Yeah, WrestleMania 12, really, with Diesel. Was probably his next best match. I mean, he had a match with Giant Gonzalez. Do you remember that one at WrestleMania 9? King Kong Bundy at WrestleMania 11. And then, yeah, he had a feud with Yokozuna, which was pretty decent in that time as well. That's probably one of the ones you could probably pick out that was half decent. Then his feud with Mankind took him to another level, and the Hell in a Cell match. Then his matches with Shawn Michaels. Yeah, before the actual around 97, that feud was lit, where they had their Hell in a Cell match. That was before the one with Mankind. That was the first ever Hell in a Cell match. In my opinion, probably maybe even a little bit better than the one with Foley. That just had two massive, amazing spots where he threw Mick Foley off the top of the cell and then through the cell. His feud with Mankind just took him to another level. Then, they evolved the character even more, and they went into the Ministry of Darkness and all his feud with Vince McMahon and all of the family stuff they did there. Then before that, we had Kane and all of that stuff. We had Paul Bear turning on him. There was just so much to remember, just trying to go over it all and think back to what a career he had. I mean, through the Attitude Era, he stayed loyal. He didn't defect like many others did to WCW when he probably was offered the money to do so. He stayed loyal. He stayed strong, and he stayed with the WWF, made the right decision in the end, became a locker room leader and the godfather in many people's eyes of the WWF or WWE. From there, many championship reigns, still some great WrestleMania matches. Many people believe, and I do as well, that the streak WrestleMania match against The Undertaker was bigger than any championship match in the end. I mean, his match with Ric Flair, his match with Triple H, matches with Triple H, he had about 3. The 2 with Shawn Michaels could go down as the best matches of all time in wrestling. Argue which one's 1 and 2. I'd say 26 was better because I was there live, but 25 was amazing as well. He did so much. I mean, the matches with Edge, Randy Orton were brilliant. There was just so much he did, and you've just this Hall of Fame. He should be in a class of his own because he was in a class of his own. No one can touch what the Undertaker has done. Nobody ever will. Again, I doubt it. To be able to do what he's done in the decades that he did it, stay on top, the way he performed. I mean, if you didn't see him live in an entrance, then you haven't really lived. Like, my goodness. That's the one thing I ticked off my bucket list, was being at WrestleMania and watching and being there and experiencing the Undertaker's entrance. And trust me, goosebumps. The hairs standing up on the back of your neck. It doesn't do it justice. Me just talking about it. You have to experience it. And I feel sorry for those of you that haven't. Those of you that have, you know what I'm talking about. But this guy should be in a class of his own. I don't believe anyone else should be going into the Hall of Fame class this year. This whole show should just be dedicated to The Undertaker and his career. The greatest career in professional wrestling of all time. I think we should have legends from the past, from the people that he's fought, had feuds with, come out and talk about him. Like people from the street, like Jake Roberts, maybe get him in if we can. I know he's with AEW, but I'm sure one night Tony Khan will allow it for the legend that is The Undertaker. I'm sure he understands. Jake in, get Kane, get Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Ric Flair if possible. Mark Henry. Randy Orton, Edge, John Cena. There's just so many people, even like Steve Austin, Mick Foley, The Rock, Triple H. I think I've already said Triple H, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. Kane, I think I said Kane. Even Vince McMahon himself, Hulk Hogan. There's just so many people you could. I've said Ric Flair. There's so many you could put out there that he's been there through so many generations and wrestled the best there has been they have to offer. AJ Styles, what he did for him in his last WrestleMania match. There's so many you can choose to put out there. So many people that will probably have a lot to say. Even the likes of maybe, I don't know, it's going to be impossible, but CM Punk, Bray Wyatt, maybe even them if he can get them there. I know it's a long shot, but... And then Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, let them have a few words. There are so many people and careers that he's touched and changed for the better or worse or whatever, that he deserves this whole show dedicated to him, nobody else. What he's done, his career, you can fill 2, maybe even 3 hours. Trust me, easily. And in my opinion, that's what the show should be this year. Nothing else. No one deserves to be stealing the spotlight or the time from The Undertaker. Let me know what you think down below. Am I right? Should The Undertaker be in a class of his own? I believe so. What do you think? Let me know, guys. Comment down below. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Dave is back, baby. He's at it again. It's 2021 Wrestling Observer News Awards, baby. And wow, you know, even before these were announced, that Dave Meltzer is an AEW Hawk. He loves Tony Khan. He loves the Tony Khan. He's had a big man crush on Kenny Omega for time. And he wants to get in the middle of the Young Bucks. He wants a Young Bucks sandwich, baby. He wants to be the meat in the Young Bucks sandwich. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, let's run through. And I haven't looked at many of them. I don't know them all. But I got sent a list of by a mate who said, yeah, 2021 Wrestler Observer Awards have been released. And AEW did pretty well. I was like, well, yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. He's an AEW mark, guys. Come on. Anyway, Wrestler of the Year for 2021, Kenneth Omega. I mean, I can't disagree. He had a good 2021 as the AEW champion. Possibly Roman Reigns could have pushed him for it, maybe. Other than that, I don't know. Maybe Hangman Page. How was his 2021? It's hard to go back and think, to be honest with you. Such a long time ago, like to think over a whole year. Like we're already in March. Nearly in March. We're hanging on the end of February. And yeah. Kenny Omega, I'd give him that one. Tag Team of the Year for 2021. The Young Bucks. No, it's obvious who he's going to pick them. I mean, what, FTR weren't doing anything in 2021, no? The Usos, no? I mean, I get it. He loves the Young Bucks, and it's not a surprise. I mean, but I can't see him winning it again. If they win it again next, like for 2022, we know something's up, really, because there's been some good teams this year so far and matches I've seen from tag teams. But I will give him that one as well. The Young Bucks did have some good matches, especially against the Lucha Bros. Even then, the Lucha Bros. There's been a lot of tag teams like in AEW that haven't done a lot. I'd like to see the Briscoes at some point get in there in the mix as well. But yeah, Young Bucks, I'd give him that one as well, probably. Women's MVP of the year, most valuable player, I'm guessing. All right, I'm going to try not to butcher this or botch it up completely. Utami Hayashishita. Who? I don't know who she is. I watch a lot of wrestling, guys. Who is she? I'll try and pronounce it again. Utami Hayashishita. Never heard of her. Is she a bigger global star than Charlotte Flair or Britt Baker was? Because those two had a decent 2021. I mean, Dave, I know you've got your penchant for the old Japanese schoolgirl, the young Japanese schoolgirl, Sonny, but come on, mate. Come on. I know you like them Japanese girls, Dave, but do me a favour, mate. Can we leave the fetishes at home, please, when we're trying to talk about wrestling? Most outstanding wrestler of the year, Shingo Takagi. Now, Shingo's a good performer. I know he won the IWGP Championship, but Sammy Guevara had a decent year. Darby Allin had a good year. They were outstanding, in my opinion, last year. I'm surprised they weren't in with a shout, but Shingo, okay. Most charismatic wrestler of the year, like Mussolini. That's right. CM Punk. Yeah, okay. He is charismatic. How long was he around in 2021, though? I'm trying to think. When did he come to AEW? It was the end of 2021, wasn't it? It wasn't like he hasn't been there that long. Okay. No one else charismatic enough in AEW for you, Dave. Okie dokie. Match of the year. Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks in a steel cage match for the AEW tag team titles at All Out. That was a very, very good tag team match. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that's that better. But I know there were a few good matches in 2021. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm not going to try and pick one that was better. That was a very good match and arguably, yeah, probably the best match of the year. Worst match of the year. The Miz versus Damian Priest in a zombie lumberjack match at WrestleMania Backlash. Oh, God, I remember that. Good God. That was bad. That was bad. Yeah, I agree with that one. That was fucking awful. Feud of the year. Kenneth Omega versus Adam Hangman Page. Yeah, that was a good feud. I enjoyed that, and the end of it with Hangman winning the title. Yeah, that was a good story told. The way they told that story, yeah, I agree with that one there. Okay, Uncle Dave, you've got me there. Worst feud of the year. Randy Orton versus The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. And yeah, like opposite of the best, like the way they finished it, the way they finished this at WrestleMania. My God, what a way to bury a character like Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. I mean, The Fiend for me was a shit character to begin with. What do you do with someone like that? Once you've beaten them once, that's it. It's over. Most underrated wrestler of the year, Ricochet. Okay. I mean, yeah. I like Ricochet. He didn't do a lot in 2021, in my opinion. I would have gone, I don't know. There's a few other options you could have gone with, maybe. But Ricochet, yeah, all right. Most overrated wrestler of the year, Evil. What's Evil done? Evil was all right. I mean, there's a lot of people you could have gone with. Becky Lynch. I don't know how much she was around for 2021. Though. She came in at around SummerSlam, didn't she? So she was around for a good half of the year. I mean, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, overrated as hell. Half the women's roster are overrated. Trying to think. Not many really from AEW side of things. I mean, I don't know a lot. I haven't watched a lot of Japanese wrestling for a while, so I don't know much about like Evil. And I know really who Evil is, and I've watched Japanese wrestling. I just fell off a little over the last couple of years, so I don't know. But obviously, Dave doesn't like Evil. I thought everything was evil. Most improved wrestler of the year, Ty Conti. Okay. I like Ty. She's decent enough. She has improved. Or she did improve in 2021. There were others, though, like Johnny Hungy. I think he improved quite a bit in 2021. Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. I think I've got a lot better. Jungle Boy. There's a few others that could have been picked that I was very surprised weren't picked. Rookie of the year, Jade Cargill. Man, Braun Breaker. He is going to be a star. But just change the name, man. What is wrong with Rex Steiner? That is a name. That's his name. And they call him Braun Breaker. Rex Steiner. What a name. Ladies and gentlemen, your new WWE champion, Rex Steiner. Isn't it? That's what I'm talking about. Best technical wrestler of the year, Bryan Danielson. Can't argue there. High flyer of the year, Ray Phoenix. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I do like that Dante Martin, but Ray Phoenix, yeah, I'll take that. Brawler of the year, John Moxley. Yeah, or Eddie Kingston, I think could have been with a shout. Move of the year, Hangman Page's buckshot lariat. Do like that move, I must say. I'm trying to think of others really that have stood out to me. The one winged angel, but that's probably won it in the past. I'd imagine that's won it like 10 times in a row. So he's trying to change it up a little bit. We know Uncle Dave would love to take a one winged angel from Kenny Omega. Yeah, I'll take the buckshot lariat. Now I do like what's his name's Lance Archer's. Yeah, that one. His finisher is pretty cool. I can't remember what it's called though. Let me know down below in the comments. Best weekly show. It's obvious what it's gonna be, and it's gonna say Dynamite, and I do enjoy Dynamite, but there's gonna be others that are gonna say, no. If we look at the ratings say that SmackDown is the best show, not Dynamite. But yeah, in my honest opinion, in my preference, I do prefer Dynamite. But if you look at the ratings, SmackDown has been head and shoulders above everyone else. Worst weekly show, Raw. Yeah, it's 3 hours. It's just a pile of crap. It really is bad, really bad. I'd say the only one that's close to it is either NXT 2.0, NXT UK 205 Live. Any one of them is just they're unwatchable. Impact's not far behind either. Show of the year, like pay-per-view, I'm guessing they mean, or big show. AEW All Out was very good. Very, very good. Most of the AEW pay-per-views in 2021 were very, very good. So you could have just picked any one of them, really, in my opinion. They always deliver. As for WWE, they dropped the ball in 2021 on their pay-per-views. Or whatever they're calling them now. Big show, big events. I don't know what they're calling them now. They're not calling them they're not pay-per-views anymore. As they're riding out on the clock. And yeah. It's just nothing really I can think about was any good. I mean, the worst show of the year he's got down here is WWE Survivor Series, and that is just dreadful every year when they just do brand split, brand versus brand supremacy. Nobody cares about brand split or brand supremacy anymore. So yeah, I can understand why Survivor Series was the worst show of the year. Promotion of the year, we knew it was getting it. It was pretty obvious. It was going to be AEW. But it weren't going to be ROH, was it? R.I.P. ROH. Worst promotion of the year, WWE. Not a surprise. Can't argue though. Gimmick of the year, Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, the Needle Mover, the head of the table, the Universal Champion, of course, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns should be winning everything, man. Roman Reigns is the man. And if you don't understand that, what is wrong with you? Worst gimmick of the year, Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I just hated that they carried on this thing with her that when she was with the Fiend, and they've just carried on. It's just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And going into 2022, it ain't getting any better. But there are others that are bad. I mean, you got your Marco Stunts, you got your Sonny Kiss, Joey Janela, the Librarian. Oh my God, do you remember that one? Peter Avalon. That was dreadful. There have been some bad gimmicks. I mean, you just got to look at NXT 2.0. You can just you could just close your eyes and just pick one out at random, and yeah, you're fine with that. I mean, there are so many on that show that are dreadful. I mean, there are a lot in the running for 2022 as the worst gimmicks in there from that show. Trust me. Best interviews or best of interviews, it's going to go to MJF. Can't disagree there. Probably one of the best on the mic in the business at the moment. And he's just going to be a star, isn't he? He's a star, that guy. In the making already. Best announcer of the year. Oh my God. It's that clown in the mask. Why? I mean, no. I mean, where's the love for Ian Riccaboni or Kevin Kelly? Do you know what I'm saying? None. How is Ian Riccaboni not got a job at the moment? By far better than anybody else out there. A long way. Excalibur. I'm like, come on, Excalibur? Really? Geezer looks like a numpty sitting there in a mask. Why does he wear the mask? People are, oh, he used to be a wrestler on the Indies. Oh, in the Indies. Oh, the Indies. Nobody watched him. Nobody cares. Take the mask off and we might take you seriously, mate. Worst announcer of the year. I'll take your Corey Graves and I'll see you Byron Saxton, Uncle Dave. Come on. Byron Saxton is dreadfully lower league than Corey Graves is half decent. Byron Saxton offers nothing. Absolutely nothing. Best non-wrestler of the year, Paul Heyman. It's a surprise. Didn't want to give it to Brandy, no? Oh, we knew he was winning this one before he even it was even put out there. Booker and promoter. There's two separate ones. There's Booker of the Year, Promoter of the Year. We know who Uncle Dave is picking for these two, don't we? He is riding that Tony Khan dick all the way home. My God. Tony Khan, Booker of the Year and Promoter of the Year. Well, he's done a decent job. I will not disagree, but what's he done to deserve these? And you know he's going to lord it over everyone again when he's got more important things to worry about. I mean, you won't see Vince McMahon at home right now being, oh my God, I lost again. God damn it. I didn't win the Wrestling Observer Newsletter of the Year award. God damn it. You're fired. It's a terrible Vince McMahon impression, but you know what I mean. God damn it. God damn it. That's a bit better. He ain't going to care. Vince McMahon wouldn't give a damn. You wouldn't see him tweeting out, oh, I'm so happy to have won. No. He's awards me nothing. Actually do something that wins something that means something. Actually, maybe try and get AEW over what Raw are drawing on ratings. That's an achievement. Beat Raw in the ratings. That's something worth achieving. Do you know what I mean? Most disgusting promotional tactic of the year. WWE firing talents during a pandemic while they are setting profit records. Yeah. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I can't think of anything else really. I mean, maybe AEW letting the drug addicted bank robber on their TV show after his documentary from the Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, they let that geezer out on a show. What the hell? But yeah, WWE firing all the people, letting go of the people they let go. Well, it's pretty deep. I'll let him have that one. Book of the year. Oh, I haven't read many books on wrestling. at all, really. No, I do read wrestling books. I do read the biographies, autobiographies, and whatnot. Mox by John Moxley. Haven't read it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'll let him have that one. Best documentary of the year, Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah. I can't think of many others in 2021 that really stood out documentary-wise. I like the thing they did with Yokozuna, WWE did with Yokozuna. I think that was in 2021. That was pretty good. But it's a WWE thing, so it's going to be like so much taken out, like not talked about. But yeah, Dark Side of the Ring was always delivers, always very good. Yeah, I'll give it to Dark Side. Anyway, that was it. Not too bad, really, from Uncle Dave. Like I said, yeah, he's got his AEW bias and he loves his Tony Khan. But yeah, there's a lot I agree on, and some, like I said, I'd argue with. Especially Utami Nida shit or high shit. I can't remember what her name is now. Yeah, she like, no, thank you very much, love. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. What would you have put in? What would you change? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? On the Wrestling Observer newsletter from Uncle Dave. Anyway, last bit. Cody Rhodes and Brandi Rhodes have left AEW. What are we going to do? I mean, what can we do? No more Cody. No more Brandi. Thank God that feud with Dan Lambert's been flushed down the toilet. Dan Lambert drove Brandi Rhodes and Cody out of AEW. We haven't heard from Dan Lambert yet. I'm waiting to hear what he's got to say because it's going to be epic. You know it will be. He's going to say something about them. But why did they leave? Was it because Brandi wanted to get back in the ring and Tony Khan and others were like, nah, mate, no, she is dreadful. We can't put her out there. She's killing the show. Like, even on the mic in the ring, she's dreadful. She was dreadful. She was getting booed out of the building. So's Cody. They both want to be baby faces. And they ain't. They ain't. You're getting booed like that. You are a heel through, and there is nothing you can do about it. So go with it. Instead, they wanted to fight it. They wanted to stay babyface. Maybe that's why. Maybe they're burnt out. Maybe they don't want to do it anymore. Maybe they want to go on a different path because they've been doing other things like that shitty reality show and whatever show Cody was doing. He was host of the big show, whatever it was called. I don't know. Maybe they want to do more things like that away from professional wrestling and try their arm at getting into the entertainment business and going to like Hollywood, trying to do movies and stuff like that. You know, going down that road, seeing if they can do it, seeing if they can break that mold and do something else. I can't see him lasting very long. Or maybe he's going to WWE. Maybe they're going to the WWE. Maybe like Cody thinks, well, they ain't going to let her wrestle in AEW. But let's go back to WWE because their women's division, they'll let anybody wrestle. Have you seen the crap they put out on their Raw and SmackDown shows? The female talents are dreadful. And Brandi will definitely get a match at some point. She'll get a run. She'll probably even get a title shot. As for Cody, if he did go back to WWE, I'm sure Vince would welcome him with open arms at first. And he'd build him up as like, yeah, he's the grandson of a plumber. His dad was Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, baby. The American Dream. I mean, and then after maybe 6 months to a year of him like riding this wave of, yeah, you're great, we love you, Cody, he's going to bury his ass. He's going to take great pleasure in it as well. immense pleasure, if you don't think that Vince McMahon will take immense pleasure at burying him, putting him in polka dots and making him dance, you are mistaken, because he will do that, and he will love every minute of it. For me, Cody, you should not be leaving AEW, son. You should have gone with it, turned heel, and rode that wave, because you had a lot to go. You had a long journey with your heel. You could have done a lot as being a heel in AEW, and you've turned all that down. He had a lot of time and a lot of life left in his AEW career. And for some reason, he's just thrown it all away. Maybe he's just looking for a big final paycheck from the WWE, and then he's done. Maybe he is done completely, retiring, and that's it. But he didn't live up to my expectations in AEW. He didn't. I expected a lot more from Cody. And yeah, he did a lot for the company and for others, but for himself, I expected more. I expected title runs, not mid-card, crappy TNT title run for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. I know we had the pandemic and he had to wrestle through all of that, and a lot of the stuff there was difficult to get through, but his AEW career in general, in overall, it's been disappointing. I mean, he had some good matches, especially with his brother. That was probably the standout match that he had. The last match he had, the ladder match with Sammy Guevara, the feud with Brody Lee. Apart from that, there isn't much else to talk about for the Cody Rhodes career in AEW, and I'm surprised this is the way it's gone. But let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see if and when Cody comes back to wrestling. If he goes to the WWE, that will be interesting. Or if it's if some people are saying it's a work. It's a work. Everything in wrestling's a work, isn't it? Everyone's working, trying to work someone and trying to work something and trying to create an angle or something. And I wouldn't be surprised. Professional wrestling, man. It's not the first time it would have happened. Anyway, thank you for watching Wrestling Bantz Chill. This has been episode 1. Been around 40 odd minutes. I've enjoyed myself. We're going to try and do this a lot more. Do other things as well. Bring in other things. Maybe even bring in some guests. Yeah, I've interviewed other wrestlers in the past, so it wouldn't be a hardship to try and get some of them on again and trying to get them talking again. Have a little bit of a chat about pro wrestling. Maybe even some fans as well. People I know. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for watching, listening. Wherever you're listening to this, whatever platform you're listening on, please like, share, and subscribe. All that lovely stuff. Go follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. You'll get a follow back if you are a wrestling fan. Thank you very much for watching. Peace, everybody. I'll see you next time. Wrestling Bantz and Chill. Wrestling Bantz and Chill. Yeah.